در قسمت قبل ولاگرد به سفارت سابق ایران در شهر واشنگتن رفتیم، به بالای بنای یادبود واشنگتن و بزرگترین کتابخانه دنیا. پیشنهاد میکنم دیدن این قسمت رو از دست ندید. و اما امروز قراره بریم تاریخ پیدایش آمریکا رو تو مهمترین موزه های این کشور جستجو کنیم. خوش اومدید به آخرین قسمت از سفرنامه ما در شهر واشنگتن. صبح امروز وقتی برای خوردن صبحونه به طبقه بالای هتلمون رفتیم، 2 تا اتفاق جالب برامون افتاد. اولیش دیدن تک‌تیراندازای روی کاخ سفید بود که در قسمت قبل توضیح دادم فقط یه ساختمون بین هتل ما و کاخ سفید فاصله بود. اتفاق دوم حتی جذابتر هم بود و اون دیدن هلیکوپترهای حامل رئیس جمهور بود. این باعث شد روزمون رو با انرژی شروع کنیم، چون امروز قرار بود به مهمترین موزه های تاریخ کشور آمریکا بریم. صبح روز سوم و روز آخرمون هستش توی واشنگتن. طبق معمول داریم از این پارک بسیار زیبا نشنال مال میریم به سمت موزه ها. میخوام اگه بشه 1-2 تا دیگه موزه خیلی زیبا رو امروز ببینیم. هوا هم یه هوای ابری خنک و خیلی باحاله. موزه بعدی که داریم میریم سمتش موزه آرشیو ملی آمریکا هستش که یه سری از مدارک خیلی مهم آمریکا توی این موزه نگهداری میشه و بازدیدش برای عموم آزاده. اینجا دقیقاً پشت سر من قانون اساسی کشور آمریکا هستش که تو سال 1789 به تصویب رسیده و هنوزم که هنوزه بعد از 230 سال به قوت خودش پابرجاه و جالبه که بدون هیچ وقت تغییر نکرده و فقط بهش یه سری اصلاحی اضافه شده. از یکی از مسئولین موزه به اسم جان پرسیدم مهمترین مدرکی که در این موزه نگهداری میشه چی هست؟ و جان برای توضیح این سوال ما رو با خودش به یکی از قسمت‌های موزه برد تا برامون کامل توضیح بده. Thank you for doing this.
My pleasure. So what you see here, this is an exact replica of the Declaration of Independence. Obviously, this is enlarged. Now, let me explain what you're seeing here, besides the document. National Archives didn't start till 1935. Where were these documents? They didn't come here till 52. Have you been to the Library of Congress?
Yes, sir.
You were there, okay. That's where they were. December 7th, 41, when we were attacked by the Japanese, the President Franklin Roosevelt had the documents removed from the library to Fort Knox in Kentucky. And they stayed in Fort Knox until D-Day, June 6, 44, when our landings were successful. the documents came out of Fort Knox. This building was here, that rotunda was here, but they went back to the Library of Congress. I'm sure there were a lot of politics involved. Didn't come here until Eisenhower was president in 1952. So we're talking about the document. So there was no archives till 1935. In the early years of the country, the documents were kept in the State Department. Now today that's a building, but back in 1800, that was just an office in the Capitol. So move ahead to 1820, when James Monroe is our 5th president. His Secretary of State is John Quincy Adams, John Adams' eldest son. And Adams sees that the Declaration of Independence is in very poor condition. So Adams hires an engraver here in Washington to make a copper engraving plate, so we could always use that to make copies of the Declaration of Independence. So that engraving plate is in that exhibit that's now closed. So I can't show it. Yes. But what you see here, this is an exact copy from that engraving plate, enlarged for this exhibit, so we can talk to people and tell them about the Declaration of Independence. So I like to call your attention, look at the word united by the caption. It's not capitalized. This document, it's an adjective. This document doesn't really create any government or any country. This document has a twofold purpose. Now, the American Revolutionary War has been on since April and May of 1775. But this is a year later, but this is the official declaration of war by the 13 colonies against Great Britain, King George III. But really, 90% of this document, Jefferson says, we must tell the world exactly why we are declaring independence. And as you look at this document, see all these dashes? Each one separates a charge against the king. 27 specific charges against the king. The Stamp Act, the Sugar Act, storing British soldiers in people's homes without their approval. If you had a trial, it was something significant, you didn't have it in Boston or New York. You had to go to London, England for your trial. So all different kinds of things. Why did John Hancock sign so large? Supposedly when he signed it, he said he wanted King George to be able to see his name, and without putting on his glasses. And he already had a bounty on his head. He was a very wealthy Boston shipping merchant. And the bounty of 500 pounds, he thought the king should double it. Sort of a little mystery. And you see this, the way this word is added in? Only. And only, yeah. I used to do that maybe in high school. You wouldn't think it would be, but this is real, that it would be done on the most important document in American history. And what's interesting, all these men, 56 of them, they're all British. 48 of them were born here. Only 8 were born in England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland. Robert Morris, I don't know if you know that name. He was like the investment banker of the American Revolution. He was born in Liverpool, England, emigrated here. And when they take the vote for independence on July 2nd, he doesn't vote for it. Obviously, he does sign the document when it's ready for signature. Best known American in the world, Benjamin Franklin, also the oldest. Here's Jefferson. Here's George Wythe, Jefferson's law professor at College of William and Mary. Charles Carroll of Carrollton, Maryland. He's the only Catholic that signs this document. And while all these men are quite well-to-do, he is the wealthiest. I don't know that you know the geography around here, but about 8 miles from here northeast is Carroll County, Maryland. His family owned the land from there all the way east, including Annapolis, Maryland. And he is the last of these signers to die. You probably have heard that Adams and Jefferson both die on July 4th, 1826, 50th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence.
They were pretty young, if I remember right. Many of these were younger than I would imagine.
Well, Jefferson's 33. Yeah. Washington's 40. And he, of course, he never signs this.
Right.
He's with the Army. He doesn't come back to sign it. So, you have any questions?
John Adams.
Yeah. Well, originally they thought he might be the author. He was all these men are really bright.
Right.
Brightest, history books would tell you. Adams, Alexander Hamilton. Madison, close third. Really bright. Well, Madison went to Princeton. That's where he got his education. Stephen Hopkins, Rhode Island. When he signed, he said, "My hand shakes, but my heart does not." Thinking but the real truth was, the reason his hand shook was he had familial palsy. That's why his hand shook.
یکی از باحال‌ترین موزه‌هایی که توی چند روز دیدیم همین آرکایو میوزیم یا موزه آرشیو بودش. خیلی جذاب و باحال بود توش. پارک انقدر قشنگه تصمیم گرفتیم که چند دقیقه بشینیم توش یه نفسی تازه کنیم و بعد دوباره ادامه بدیم. مثل تمام ویدیوهای دیگه هم که گفتم ای کاش من میتونستم بو رو هم توی تصویر انتقال بدم. این گل به اسم گاردنیا، وای 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 وای، بوش فوق‌العاده است، خیلی خوشبوه. یه بار دیگه. به به. موزه بعدی که قراره ببینیم موزه تاریخ آمریکا است. موزه تاریخ واشنگتن. به نظر من اگه فقط وقت دارین یه موزه رو ببینین بهترین انتخابه. چرا؟ چون پر از چیزای جالبیه که هر کسی با هر سنی میتونه ازش لذت ببره. از تاریخ تکنولوژی و شهرسازی و ماشینسازی گرفته تا هالیوود و وسایل شخصی رؤسای جمهور و حتی تاریخچه دلار. ولی راستش دلیل اصلی اومدن ما به اینجا یه داستان خاص بود. داستانی که برمیگرده به سپتامبر 1814 زمان جنگ آمریکا و بریتانیا. یک وکیل و شاعر آمریکایی به اسم فرانسیس اسکات کی شاهد حمله بریتانیایی‌ها به دژی به اسم فورت مک هنری توی بندر بالتیمور بود. اون شب اسکات روی کشتی گیر افتاده بود و داشت از دور بمباران‌های سنگین رو تماشا می‌کرد. صبح که شد چشمش به پرچم بزرگی که هنوز روی دژ در احتراز بود افتاد و این صحنه تأثیر عمیقی بر روی او گذاشت. همون لحظه بود که شروع به نوشتن یه شعر کرد. این شعر بعدها با ملودی یک آهنگ قدیمی بریتانیایی ترکیب شد و در نهایت در سال 1931 به عنوان سرود ملی رسمی آمریکا انتخاب شد. این همون پرچمیه که اون روز بر فراز اون دژ در احتراز بود.
خب اینم از مسافرت چند روزه ما در شهر واشنگتن که اولین تجربه خودمونم بود و واقعا لذت بردیم. خیلی شهر قشنگیه. امیدوارم که شما هم از دیدن این چند قسمت لذت برده باشین. لطف کنید با دوستانتون هم به اشتراک بذارین. اگه کانال رو هم هنوز سابسکرایب نکردین لطف کنید سابسکرایب بکنین. خیلی ممنونم و تا یه ویدیوی بعد.